Hello, everybody. Thanks so much for watching Project Volunteer. I'm your host, Randy Lanham, along with my co-host,
Theresa Rowe.
Theresa, why are we sitting here with clay on our hands?
We are practicing. We're going to make some bowls today.
Empty bowls.
Yes,
what a great organization helping a lot of hungry people in our community,
That's right. Bringing awareness to those who need help, and no one should go without food.
That's right, and this organization is helping. We're going to find out all about how we can volunteer today, and I got to tell you, your bowl's looking kind of good. I mean, it was my first time, but I just kind of, I didn't do real good, but I mean, it's okay.
It's not good to fib.
Oh, well, anyway.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for watching. Hello, this is Randy Lanham.
And I'm Theresa Rowe, and we are your hosts for Project Volunteer.
Have you ever wondered what nonprofit organizations do, or about all their different volunteering opportunities?
Or what about hearing testimonies from the recipients of their care?
Join us on our journey as we walk in the shoes of a volunteer for a day and find out about some amazing organizations that are literally changing the world.
And along the way, meet some true surprising heroes making a difference in the lives of others as we feature another Project Volunteer. All right, Tina, tell us what Empty Bowls is and how it got started.
Empty Bowls is a nonprofit that got started in 2005, actually by a Brescia ceramics professor, Steve Driver. He saw that there was an Empty Bowls that got started in the early 90s, I believe, and he thought that it would be good to bring it to Owensboro.
What's the purpose behind it? I mean, why Empty Bowls?
Well, it is to feed the hungry. So what it is, we make these bowls all year round, and our goal is 400 bowls. And through the year we're making these bowls. You get to buy a ticket to come to the event, which will be in October, and we will feed you soup. And you get to take the bowl home at the end of the night, and everything goes to nonprofits here in the Owensboro area that their mission is to feed the hungry.
Oh, okay. So how did you get involved with it?
I got involved, I was actually a part of a soup kitchen that we were the recipients for the Empty Bowls funds. And so we went to the fundraiser event that night, and I was just intrigued and inspired, and I went up to one of the committee members and asked if I could volunteer, and here I am.
How awesome is that? And you're the chair.
I am.
All right, so are these some examples of the bowls?
They are. This one is actually Kevin Fritz. He is a local potter here in the area, and he is a huge supporter of Empty Bowls, and I believe this one was actually made by David Stratton, who is a professor over at Brescia University, which Brescia is our backing entity. They have been involved from the beginning.
Okay, so how long would it take to create these beautiful bowls?
Well, if you're going to throw on the wheel and you're a seasoned, potter, not very long. It would probably take you a couple, probably no more than 5 minutes to make this bowl.
Okay.
But there's a lot more that goes into it after the fact. They have to be trimmed and then glazed and the firing. So it's a whole process. You can hand build as well, which that's mostly what I do because I've only done this throwing a few times, and that can take a little bit longer to hand build, but there's a whole bunch of different ways that you can make bowls.
So what do you like about being involved with the Empty Bowls?
It's just fulfilling. It's a mission to feed the hungry, which I feel is very universal. Mm-hmm. And it's just important. There should be no person in this country that should be going hungry. There's too much food.
Absolutely.
And we should all be able to help provide those meals to the people who are hungry.
Share with us an inspirational story or something that you've noticed being involved with Empty Bowls.
I guess again that it brings people together. Knowing that people are hungry in your community, that's hard for people to accept, mm-hmm. especially knowing that we get to go home at the end of the day and fix our dinner and scoop us some ice cream in a bowl, and we take for granted everything that we have. And it's so basic to have food on the table, and it does bring people together to fight food insecurity. It doesn't matter, your religion, your background, where you come from. It can be, it's just universal. It brings people together, and it's unacceptable to be hungry.
That's true.
Yeah.
Tell us about the recipients, like the different organizations that would receive the funding from Empty Bowls. What do they do?
Their mission is all to feed the hungry in the community as well. So whether it is the backpack program, we gave to the Seven Hills School backpack program one year. They send backpacks home with kids over the weekend so they have food, because majority of the food insecure kids only get good meals through the week when they're at school. So that's what that helps with. The Patino shelter, their homeless shelter that they also feed their live-ins, and so they're all missioned to feed the hungry, whether it's a soup kitchen or a food pantry, or the organizations that go around to feed the shut-ins. King's Table was one. They go around and feed, they deliver food to the shut-ins.
How has volunteering helped impact you, and how has it impacted your heart?
I don't think that I could not do it. Once I began, I was just in it, and I've had people ask me before, well, Tina, you may not want to do this forever, but I can't really picture myself not doing it.
No, it's your greater purpose, right?
It is, yeah.
We're all supposed to be sharing love with each other, sharing the love of Christ, and loving one another and helping each other out.
Yeah, it's what we're called to do, and I think that when it's in you, it's just in you to do it.
Well, it's in you. I can see it. Thank you so much for sharing with us today about Empty Bowls.
Thank you.
Okay, Michaela, this is my very first time playing with clay. I mean, since I was a child, so I'm a little nervous about this, okay? Randy's had me do a lot of things, but I've not made a bowl before, so show me what we're doing.
Okay, so what we're gonna do, when I first make a hand-built slab, I like to smooth it out first.
Okay.
So I'll usually take some water, and you can either take a sponge or just take your hands. And so I just kind of put the water all over the clay, and then you take like anything that's able to smooth it out. We usually have ribs and different tools to smooth it out. It's easier to smooth it out before you put the clay over the mold that we're going to use.
Okay.
So that's why I like to do that first.
So you get it all wet and just
All
smooth it out.
wet and smooth it out, and it just helps it look more finished rather than having like the print of the canvas that it's laying on over top of it.
All right.
And
looks like you're an expert at this, though. I understand you were an art major in college.
Yes.
Okay.
I came here from Louisville actually, and I wasn't sure what I was going to do at first. And art really has been in my childhood, so I just continued doing that.
And it's great therapy too, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
It's just very therapeutic just watching you.
Yes.
Watching the fire.
Yes.
Okay, so
So
tell me how you got involved with this organization.
When I first came to Brescia University, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. But in my sophomore year, I met Vaughn, and she's the one that really got me into clay and pottery. And so after that, it just really took off, and she was a real big inspiration for me in getting into the community and everything. She had us, it was required that we made bowls and stuff for Empty Bowl, which was a real big inspiration because they do a lot of good things and everything. And she was really sweet to me and everyone. So that's really how I got into doing what I like to do now, and hand building and doing all sorts of pottery stuff.
All right, so this is, you told me this is a mold, right?
Yes, this is a mold.
Okay, so what are we going to do with this and this?
Okay, so since you smooth out this side, I usually like to put the smoother side on over top of the mold.
Okay.
So the inside is nice and smooth. So you'll just lift it from the canvas.
We put it in the middle there?
Yep, and then we'll just put it in the middle. And then I just drape it over top of the mold.
Can you mess this up at all?
I mean, it can crack a little bit, but it doesn't really, if you mess up, there's always a way to fix it. So it's not really like you're gonna mess anything up, really.
Okay. Do you want me to help you smooth it down?
Yep, that's fine. Let's see, and then, so you'll see that
Kinda
it's
like
starting.
a ravioli. Sorry
Yeah,
about
yes,
that.
no, you're fine. So you'll see that it's cracking just a little bit, which is completely fine. You'll just take more water and smooth it out like we did at the start.
You want it all over this mold, like?
Yeah, I usually try to get as close as I can to the mold, and then we'll cut it a little bit and piece the pieces together so that it sticks better.
Okay. This is kind of fun.
Yeah. And then just take some water, and you can just smooth it out with your fingers or with a tool. Either one really works.
All right.
And-
it's kind of like playing in the mud, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
Sort of.
And so once you get your mold on there, you can actually take another tool and like kind of cut a circle around of the bowl so you don't get too close in case you want to do something around the rim.
Okay.
And so then you can just peel these off. And I usually save these to make something with them later, like to make a foot or something, or put a design on the sides of it.
Sure. Looks like a hat right now.
Yes,
sort
it
of,
does
you
look like a
know.
hat. And so we just like to make sure that there's no cracks or anything in it in case, because it can cause your entire bowl to crack if there's a small little hairline crack on there.
All right.
So that's what we're doing
So
right
pay
now.
attention to detail, right?
Yes, we like to pay attention to detail. And let's see.
Can you tell me why you think it's important for people to volunteer?
Yeah, volunteering and helping the community is just a good way to get good with yourself. Personally, I'm a worrywart and I worry about everything. So helping people helps me not worry as much, and it helps me feel happier too, and just in life. So it's a good, like you said, it's a good therapy to do art, but volunteering is like therapy for me. So
Like a stress reliever?
Yes.
Yes, because you're giving back
Yes.
and you're helping other people.
yes, and that's what I love to do, is just help and give back.
Yeah, well, I can tell you do. Okay, so now what do we do from here?
Okay, so usually from here, I like to see if I like to put a design or like a foot on it, and then like clean up the edge a little bit. So this is the part where you kind of have to think about how you want to design it. So we'll take some of this extra clay and I'll actually put a foot on the bottom of it. And so a foot is just something to make it stand up, like you see on the bottom of like any other bowl that you might have at your house.
Sure.
It's just what it sits on. So usually I'll just,
So how long did it take you to get to the level you're at right now? You
I know.
went to school.
Yes, I didn't actually take ceramics class until my sophomore year when I started with Vaughn, and she's she wanted us to make sure that we were doing everything right and how we were supposed to make sure that we could improve on ourselves. So she was constantly giving critiques and everything.
Which is good,
Yeah,
right?
so yeah, critiques are what mainly helped me get to the level I'm at now. So it's just tough criticism, and it doesn't really bother me, but it just helps you build and grow as when you're doing stuff like this.
That's right. Iron sharpens iron. Now, I
Yes.
don't know if clay sharpens clay, but iron sharpens iron. So it's good for us.
Yes, this is. And
So how do you decide your design and what you're going to do with the bowl?
I usually just think of something that I like. So I usually do a lot of like flowers and
like
leaves and things
flowers.
like that. Yeah. And so that's usually how I decide on a design that I'd like to do. And so usually it just depends on, some people have different preferences, and so we could leave the bowl like this and then actually just draw something in it. Some people like to do that. So it just really depends on the person and the individual. Yeah.
Okay. So do you enjoy, like you said, you didn't really go into ceramics until you met your teacher. Do you enjoy doing this?
Yes, I do enjoy it. I haven't done it in a while, but this is what I love to do, is pottery. So
right.
that's what I like to do a lot.
Well, I'm learning from you, okay? You're a good teacher. Just don't be too hard on me, all right?
I'll try not to.
I'm just watching.
So this is a foot, just basically, you just take a little rectangular piece,
Okay.
and I usually just try to flatten it out as good as I can.
It's kind of like Play-Doh, sort of.
Yes,
but
it is.
harder.
It's Play-Doh and clay are very similar. Clay is a little bit more messy than Play-Doh. That's the only really difference. So this one's probably just a little too big.
But I learned, as I'm a Nana, and I learned I thought Play-Doh would be a lot of fun to have in my house, and
Yes.
lots of Play-Doh.
Yes, and
It
then
disappeared after the first year.
yes, yes.
I'm finding Play-Doh everywhere, so we went to Legos
Yes.
instead. Yeah.
Play-Doh.
I mean, it's fun.
It is.
Children love it, use their imagination. So I guess when you're doing this, you're just kind of using that imagination
Yes.
on what you're going to do.
So this is kind of going to be a foot right here.
Why is it called a foot
It's just that
instead of a stand?
instead of a stand. I know it's just that's the term that they use because when you turn it over,
It's like the foot. Okay,
yeah,
I
it's,
get
it's
it
like
now,
the
I get
foot.
it. Yeah.
So we're just gonna. This is me just trying to figure out exactly how I want it to go, and then it just comes right off. So then I know what shape I want it to be. So we have to score it. And
What does that mean?
scoring is just you're literally just like you're just making lines in it to make it stick. It sticks better
Okay.
when you have not the clean surface. So if you put it just
didn't know
on there
that.
and then you fire it, this part can potentially just fall off.
Okay.
So
okay.
this allows you to just have it stick in better, and then you'll put slip in it, which is just really, really wet clay. It's kind of like the glue.
It's called what? Slip?
Slip, yes.
Why is it called slip?
That's
Sorry,
another thing.
I'm
No,
so
you're fine.
curious.
No, you're fine. It's just
Slip.
it's a really, really wet clay that we
Okay,
use.
so it's
and-
slippery.
Yeah, it's kind of
There you go.
slippery, and the glue.
Yeah.
It's kind of like more like the glue that we use for clay, instead of actually using like regular like glue, you know. And so you'll just score this,
Okay.
and then I usually just
like
use my
tic-tac-toe.
hands.
Yeah.
And then I usually just use my fingers. Some people like to use different things.
Like a brush or something like
Yes.
that.
And then you just do that. And then you actually score the other piece too, so they will help it stick better. Just real quick.
Yeah, you're good at that.
And then you just stick it on there. And it should stick, since it's really wet right now, it's gonna stick a lot better than if it was really dry. Okay, so that foot is done. So I'm actually going to trim this closer to the mold.
Okay.
So that piece, so it will be closer.
So how long will it take you altogether from the start to the finish to complete the bowl?
To hand build this one, you have to let it dry to get significantly hard before you can throw it in the kiln to get it fired. So you'll have to let it get a little firm.
Is that
Yeah.
like a few days?
Yeah, it
or-
can take a few
okay.
days. It just depends. Since this room is a little on the warmer side usually, it usually doesn't take as long for it to dry. So take like 2 to 3 days, just depends on how you cover it. We usually cover it in plastic so it doesn't dry super fast, because if
Right.
it dries too fast then it cracks more. So that's why we just try to figure out how we're gonna get it dried in a timely manner.
Well, I want to thank you for getting us to this point, and we're going to see your finished product when it's all completed, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank
Thank you.
Hey there, I'm Theresa, and I am here to hang up a flyer.
Yes, just put it on the window.
All righty.
And while you're here, we have this donation for empty bowls to have auctioned.
That is really nice. Hey, before I leave, let me ask you, why do you guys support Empty Bowls?
At Ian Ford, we think it's very important to help support the community.
And that's awesome, and we really appreciate you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Have a good
Bye,
day.
you too.
So Cheryl, Bob, it's such a pleasure to have you all here. How exciting is it for you all to be one of the recipients for the Empty Bowls of Owensboro?
Exciting. I've been up since 4:30. I couldn't sleep. I'm so excited. Yes, and I still have it worn down, as you can tell.
Well, maybe when you hit the sack later tonight, you'll sleep well tonight, you think?
Yes, we are so humbled and honored, really.
Well, tell us about your ministry.
We started working in the ministry about 2015, and then we assumed leadership of it in 2017. And what we do is we serve a meal on the third Wednesday of every month, and it's called a community meal, and everybody's invited.
Okay.
And then on the third Thursday of the month, and we picked the third Thursday for a reason, because that's typically when everybody's out of food stamps.
And it's easy to remember, third
And it's
Thursday.
easy to remember.
I like that.
Exactly.
So we do it on the third Thursday so that those people who need that emergency food supply to get them through till the beginning of the month, then we're there for them to help them with that.
That's
so
great.
we enjoy doing that, and it's just a part of it. The other part is developing the relationships with the people and giving them a safe place that they can go, and where they have dignity and respect, and we honor them.
Well, what would you say to people out there watching, might be hesitant about volunteering, maybe at a ministry like yours, maybe at a ministry like Empty Bowls of Owensboro? How would you encourage people to volunteer?
I tell you, all it takes is to be involved in one,
Yes.
and you'll get hooked.
Yeah.
You know, we
I
have
agree.
people that come and spend one afternoon with us working, and they say, we love this, we want to continue to do this. And I'm sure you run into that all the time, because you do volunteer work everywhere.
Yeah.
So, but you know that when they come in and they see the looks on people's faces.
Yeah.
We had a gentleman today that came through on his bicycle to get groceries, and one of our staff saw that he was cold. He took his coat off and gave it to the guy.
Wow.
2 cars back, a lady saw that and was bawling her eyes out because of the generosity.
Yeah.
It touches people,
Yeah.
and we just praise God for that.
Absolutely.
Because that's what it's all about.
Even here tonight, we had someone come and say, we would like to come and visit your ministry, maybe volunteer. I said, come. So we just want to see what it's all about, and
Yeah.
I tell you, it'll change them, and then they'll be wanting to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you all both so much for
Thank
what you do,
you.
and congratulations for being one of the
Thank
reasons.
Thank you very much, and
Oh,
thanks,
we
Empty
love it.
Bowls. We
Thank
appreciate it.
you.
Yes, absolutely. So, John, we were down here at Empty Bowls. Why in the world is it important for you to come down here and serve soup to these good fellas? Yes, what do you want? What kind you want? Oh, this is the best, man. This is the best soup you'll ever eat. Yes, I made it. No, I didn't make it. I can't lie.
It's our
Sorry.
second crock pot.
I'm not lying, but I understand it's really, really good, okay? So, there you go, sir. You got it?
Thank you, sir.
Need a hand back
Yeah,
to
do
the
you need a
table?
hand?
Got it?
All right, he's
All
got
right.
it.
John, down here serving soup at Empty Bowls of Owensboro. Why are you spending your time to volunteer and come down here and serve soup?
Yeah,
Why ain't
Empty-
you sitting on the couch at home watching TV?
Well, I wouldn't be sitting on the couch. I got 2 kiddos, so
Oh,
we
okay,
would
no
be
sitting couch.
yeah,
Okay.
running around the couch.
Okay.
But being here tonight, it's all about what Empty Bowls supports. They support giving back to the community in terms of those in need of food. So that's why I'm here to help with that. Here with Leslie and yourself, having a good old time, serving
Is she
up.
getting you in trouble?
That's usually what happens.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you know, it's pretty cool because there is a great crowd out there. They're going to raise a lot of money for the 2 organizations that's benefiting from this, all the money they're raising for this. A lot of great silent auction items out there.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool that I love our town, Owensboro, and how we all come together to help one another, you know?
Yeah,
It's pretty cool to see all these familiar faces. Again, people like yourselves down here volunteering and people out here just supporting it. So
Yeah.
this is a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And those that got their tickets, they can pick one of the handmade bowls here. And
Yeah.
from my understanding, you made a bowl. And
It's probably got a hole in it.
Yeah,
They'll
yeah.
put it in and it'll leak out. So.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
But yeah, so I got to make a bowl, and I don't know which one it is, but they'll probably get soup all over their clothes once they dip it in there. But you know, I love being a part of it. We had a lot of fun making a bowl and
Yeah.
getting to come down here and serve soup. So
That's great.
Just waiting for somebody to come along. All right, so we're just going to wait for our next customers.
Okay.
Joe, Leah, thank you all for being down here at Empty Bowls of Owensboro tonight. Man, what an awesome turnout.
It's great.
I mean, seriously, Man, there's such a great organization doing a lot of good things. They're helping Shepherd's Hands, Church Alive Ministry. I mean, why is it that you all bought tickets? You're a sponsor. Leah, why is it that you sponsored, y'all bought tickets, you're down here spending your hard-earned money to support this?
Well, it's a great cause, and Owensboro is probably the most giving community that I've ever been in. People volunteer, they give of their time. You know, you're feeding so many people and helping so many people. Like Gwen said, there's a lot of grandparents raising, you know,
Their
children,
grandchildren,
and
yeah.
you know, a lot of people are on fixed income, and so the Lord told me, if you give out, I'll give in. So, and He's my provider, and so I give out when He says to give out. So.
Yeah, He says, test me, right?
That's right. That's the only place he says test me, but that's it. Yeah, it's an opportunity for us to give back. You know, we've been blessed, and so it's good to bless back. We've been blessed in the past when we have had needs. People have been there to help us, so you know, we just want to pay that forward. And
Well, that's the way it's designed by God, is whoever has, give to those who don't, right?
That's right.
And then when we're in the position of not having, we like it when people come along and help
somebody
us.
will come along and help us. That's
We
right.
all need a helping hand every once in a while.
That's right. Well, I appreciate y'all being down here. A lot of these people watching right now don't know all the other 2,000 things that y'all do for our community and beyond. So thank you both for your servant's hearts.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Thanks everybody so much for watching Project Volunteer. Teresa, didn't we have a great day?
I had a fantastic day, learned a lot of things that I didn't know, and it's a lot of fun. It really is. Learning something that you don't know how to do.
Empty Bowls, what a great organization. We've gotten to volunteer doing several things, and now we're doing some painting here, or it's actually called what? Glazing, sorry. We're doing some glazing here to finish up. But we want to encourage you to get out in your community, volunteer, whatever you're called to do. Get out, make a difference, right, Teresa?
It's fun, and it's so rewarding. It really is.
And we want to thank all of you all for allowing us to hang out with you today, okay? Let's say bye.
Thank you.
Everybody say bye.
Hi there. Hey, I'm Teresa with Empty Bowls, and can I put up a flyer?
Absolutely, just put it in the window.
Alrighty, about right there.
And while you're here, I'd like to present you with this, dang it, said, bye. I'm not an actor.
It's okay, let's keep rolling. Keep it rolling, Brian.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, have I already got through the door?
Yeah, just start there.